Hi guys, it's Erin. How's it going? I'm doing good, thank you. So I got some messages today. I did yoga and I ate and I'm drinking some tea, iced tea, and let's get into it. So I'm having a great time with my twin. We don't get to see each other very much, but when we do, it's like, just all the feels, just very good. So, it's giving me like new energy right now. And he really like gave me like this boost of energy, and I guess that's just how you put it. And it's this timing. It's like August. There's like, you guys, I don't know, like everybody doesn't know spirituality that much, and I'm just learning myself, but you have to tap into spirituality and the positions of like the planets and the moon. And I don't really know about that. I just hear people talking about it. I haven't really had the time or like been drawn to study that, because I'm on this path with you guys, trying to help you, and I'm learning along with, trying to raise humanity, elevate humanity. So I just do what I'm told, I obey, and I'm bringing the messages to you guys as I get them and as I'm going. Of course, like, there's so much I could talk about, but when I get the messages, I'm trying to just relay them to you, because I know a lot more stuff, but it'll all come in due time. So, okay, there was several things I was getting the last few days. And so, one of those things I'm getting right now to talk about life is a game. So God wants you to live as though your life is a game. And I'm also getting that, and I've been getting all of this, and so I'm just adding on to it, okay, so I'm just gonna say what I'm hearing. Like, we are warriors. We are in the game of life. We are fighting battles every day. It doesn't matter where you've come from when you land in the game. You're a pawn, you're a chess piece, you've been placed in the game, you've been dropped in the game where your position is meant to be. You chose that position. Your soul chose that position. It's up to you to fight your way to win. And the lower the position you're in, the more rewards you get when you get out. But we all have tremendous battles to fight, no matter what the starting point was. Yes, people have different family backgrounds and support systems, so that gives them a leg up. But then they're unable to learn from experience, which is more valuable Just because somebody tells you what to do doesn't mean you're going to listen, or it's not going to mean the same as if you learned it yourself through trial and error. So it's all your mindset, whether you're going to listen or not listen, whether you're going to say, like, become a victim, or you're going to rise up, that you're going to be a leader. So a leader, I got this in yoga because I was doing a warrior, when I was doing like a warrior 1, warrior 2, all that, I was getting that, because I was saying that the other day, like, we're warriors. We are all warriors in this game of life. We're all fighting. We're all fighting against evil. We need to just stay on the path of good and put up boundaries and create this barrier against evil so we can win the game. That's how you win the game. That God set up our lives through others, through the inventions of others, for this moment. This is a moment in time where there's a shift in humanity. If you can feel the shift in humanity. In my lifetime, I felt the shift in humanity. It's amazing. It's amazing. And everybody has to feel that and understand that we're all working together to elevate humanity, to work towards our destiny as a people. This is God's plan. This is not our plan. God works through each and every one and uses us to build each other. That's how it works. So relationships are not how you guys think they are, or how I thought they were, or how society thinks they are. And I'm getting loud. Hear me roar. I am woman. Hear me roar. That's another thing I was getting. How amazingly brilliant women are. How they are the true leaders and creators of our people. So understand, if you're a woman, how powerful and amazing you are just for being a woman. You can create a human life. You can raise a person. Take that responsibility extremely high, like with a high level of importance. On my path, I knew I was educated. I had a college education. I decided to stay home even though I was a single parent. And I decided to suffer with financially in order to be able to raise my children, because I knew that this is my one shot, my one opportunity, Eminem, to... If you get that reference, it's a song. That I'm not going to pass up my opportunity to raise my children because of what society says. That I'm going to try the hardest that I can to work and raise my kids. But damned if I have somebody else raise them and abandon them so I can go to work. That is not like, that come hell or high water, that's not what I'm not going to risk that bond with my children, or that structure, or that familiarity, that hereditary, meaningful connection, and that knowledge and that mindset that I can instill in my children, that I worked hard my entire life to overcome obstacles and to learn and to study and to know what life is about. And that is my honor and privilege and dedication and devotion to my children, to pass that down to them, to raise them in that high honor state and not let them be overtaken by somebody else's mindset or corruption, and just leave them to somebody else, to like daycare or babysitter, that I don't really even know what is going on. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they do. I don't know I don't know them. So I was a stickler. Like, I did not really have babysitters. I always wanted to do it myself. Yes, I'm a strong, independent woman, a boss. I've been a boss since I was born. And nothing is going to take that away from me. That's the mindset we need to have. We need to have self-confidence. And the thing is life tried to tear me down, tear me apart. I've been at those low points, like so many times in my life, where I doubted myself and I had fears, and the older I got, I would get more fears, and it like piles up, and no matter how confident you are or how good you feel about yourself, even when you are your true self, even when you do know and you've overcome things that make you feel confident in yourself, you've overcome your insecurities by, like, let's say I was kind of like shoved in a box, like I'm not smart, because I think differently. I have different ways of doing things. I'm a creative person. I'm a dreamer. I try things that others don't try. I go outside the box. I wander off the trail. I go to the unknown. And then I come back and center and be grounded. So I always try to do the right thing in life and be stable. But I might wander around to try to figure things out, because I know this isn't the right way. I know that society's way is not the right way. So I try to forge a new path. And that's where I gain more knowledge and insight, because I am going over these boundaries that are set for us. And so I knew that the only ones that could really raise great leaders and great people in this lifetime, and to have that bond and that connection with my children, was for me to raise them, for me to tell them how to be and how to behave and how to walk the walk. Because you have this narrow opportunity to really connect and instill those values within your children. And maybe for a lot of people, it's better to have somebody else rear your they say rear your children, raise your or not raise, but like watch your children and give them good values and good morals, integrity, balance, confidence, working with others. Okay, so this is the other thing, is that my daughter, my first daughter, okay, so this kind of is a contradiction, so you might not understand this because what I was saying. So sometimes I get caught up in a certain mindset of mine. But at one time in my life, that wasn't a clear mindset or an active mindset. So now I'm going back. So my two younger kids, that's how I was. But with my older child, I was still like always there for her. Like I felt like that. Like I was like, we were so damn, like I'm telling you, we were so damn close. I was doing everything for her, but I was working a full-time job. And I went back to work when she was like 2 months old. And I left her at a babysitter. So this is like how I developed that mindset. Because of the situation that I had with her. So that's how life works. That's how we come about and learn, is from things not working out so well, or our thoughts and ideas because of situations that we're in. You know, we start thinking of the opposite side, or like how things could be done differently in a better way because we went through some issues, some problems. So now this was way back in a time where I didn't know my spirituality. I didn't know my connection with God. I didn't know that I was on a spiritual path. I didn't know what was happening to me. So I felt heavily that I wanted to stay home with my daughter. But I also wanted to work. So I knew that I wanted to be a career woman, that I didn't just want to stay home with my child. That's not what I ever felt like. But I felt this bond and connection with my baby, and I wanted to see everything and experience everything with her. I didn't know if I was going to have another child. I didn't know, like, that's how I felt when I got pregnant, because I wasn't married when I got pregnant. Confirmation. So that's why I didn't know how I was going to feel when I got pregnant. I wasn't even like in a happy relationship, but I felt like I needed to try to make it work for my daughter and for me, and to have stability, and to have you know, like a little family unit. Like I didn't want to, it wasn't a comfort zone of mine. I didn't have, my confidence was a false confidence. And that's what like the majority of us in this world, if you see a confident person, more likely than not, it's a false confidence. So I'm learning about all of this stuff over my lifetime, and a false sense of confidence is like somebody, it's like, okay, like say you're this like I don't even know what I'm seeing. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm picturing. That I'm picturing this like tree stump and a guy, a girl standing on one leg, like with their knee up or something with the other leg, doing one of those like karate poses or yoga, whatever. But they're strong and they're stable. But how strong are they? Like, can the wind blow them over? Can somebody tap them on the shoulder and they'll fall down? Like, how stable are you in that position? So it's about how easily you can be knocked over. That is the true test of confidence. So let's say that there's like this pretty girl and she thinks she's so confident, and like me, okay, like when I was a model, I was modeling and I looked so confident and people thought I was so confident about myself, but it was all like a facade. Even within myself, I didn't know that I wasn't really, well, I guess I did. I knew that I wasn't confident, but at times I felt the confidence. So that is the key. It's like your ability, your strengths are that you have to understand that in any moment in time, you can be confident. That's your choice. So when you have this negative thought creep into your mind, you can be this warrior and like defend yourself. Get it away. Like, use your warrior strength to fight for yourself. Fight for your self-confidence. Fight to maintain that strength and that balance on that tree stump. Don't let somebody knock you off. Because I don't know if very many people in this world have been like raised the right way, like with the right amount of confidence, the right amount of like perfectly, like because our society isn't in a structure that it's able to do that. So I'm thinking like, I'm speaking God's word. I'm telling us how the world works. God speaks through me. God uses my voice to let it be known the ways of the world that are wrong and how to live in balance and harmony with all that's going on. The ways of the world that need to be restructured and rebalanced and reorganized. That when we come across change, growth in society, technology changes, that we need to adjust and recalibrate to those new ways of life. That it's okay if we got it wrong. It's okay. It's okay. It's meant to be like that. Because we're all restructuring and refocusing and rebalancing all the time. I'm getting that sometimes it's okay to step off of the tree stump and just like I'm seeing like the warrior like get off of the tree stump onto the ground and get into the fetal position, the child's pose. That's the yoga term for it, but it's like this, like bowing your head. It's like folding up into a ball on your knees with your legs under you and your head down, bowed down to the earth, and weeping or praising God. That you can have a rest, that you can cleanse yourself of your pains, of your fears, of your doubts, of your exhaustion. To have that time to regroup and heal so you can get back up again and go back up on the stump. And you can do that every day. You do that every day. You get off the stump and you go into your home. And you're able to, that should be a place of serenity and to relax. And there you can cry, you can praise God, you can shout, you can dance, you can stretch, you can exercise, you can feed your soul, your mind, your body with healthy food. Rejuvenate, recuperate, rest, sleep, re-energize. And then you go back at it again. And even if you work at home, you're still, that fierce warrior doing the job that you do, whatever that job is. Even if you don't have a job and you're handicapped, you're fighting the fight. You're dealing with your battles that God gave you. Even like a job doesn't necessarily have to be paid for. Like you could be taking care of a family member that's sick, or just whatever you're up against. Maybe you can't find a job, but your job is trying to look for a job. So everybody has a job. And if you're in a phase of self-reflection or depression, that is your job. Your job is to heal and recover and get into a balanced state of mind, body, and spirit. And what you can do to get out of that state is listen to positive messages. Listen to messages that will help you heal, give you insight, give you focus, give you knowledge on how the mind works, how about psychology, or how your brain works, and how you need positive messages to trigger positive responses in your system, in your body. Everything relates to everything. So positive in, positive out. If you're corrupting yourself with negative thoughts and energies and exposures and people and situations, if you let that negative energy spoil your mind, your mindset, there's a momentum to that. It's a snowball effect. It keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You're making the problem bigger and bigger and bigger by thinking about it. It's all a mindset. So if you take a moment to relax your mind, if you're in a bad space, do it as much as you possibly can. If you're like at home and you're depressed and you can't get out of bed, I would suggest listening to some meditation music that has positive healing energies to clear your chakras. I believe don't think bad of me for this, but I think there's 7 chakras in the body. I know there's a heart chakra, there's a crown chakra, there's a solar plex chakra, there's a root chakra, which is at the bottom of your spine. It's all like in your torso, it's not in your limbs. It's not in, but it's like in the, in alignment with your body from your head, from your top of your head to your tailbone. And there's certain centers. There's your, there's your third eye, but most people don't have, I don't know if that's a chakra. But there's meditation music that clears your chakras and gets you in alignment so you can be cleared out of negative thoughts and emotions and traumas. And so that would be a good idea to listen to these meditation music, because there's frequencies in this music that heal your body. Music connects with the body to heal. And so we all need to learn this as like science. This is like spiritual science. And it's something that we haven't incorporated into society enough. And it really has to be known. All of this has to be known because it's true. It connects with God and religion, and it's all connected. Science, God, religion, and spirituality. It's all connected. So this is what I came to know. Like, I know this. 1,000% I know this. And the crazy thing is no matter how confident you are, or how much knowledge you have on these subjects, it's easy to throw you off of that stump, that warrior inside of you, because you can't see it. And that's what I was getting this morning when I was making my bed. I was like, why do I not maintain that confidence like a warrior? Like, why can't I just feel confident in every area of my life that I felt so confident before? And it's a choice. You have free will, and it's a choice that's an amazing choice. Because you can feel sorry for yourself and cry and be vulnerable and show your weaknesses to others if you choose to. And it's a control. This is amazing. I just got that. This is a control that is beautiful. Because once you get to the spot that I am in right now, where I'm fully awakened and aware and connected to God, I was wondering about this. Like, I can easily just like fall back into that old mindset because I know it so well, because I was there for so long of my life, that it is a superpower, because you can maintain your confidence whenever you want. It's like an ability, like it's in your pocket and you can just grab it at any time. And in your other pocket, there's your vulnerability, and you can grab that at any time. You have so many, it's like a Swiss Army knife. You have so many different tools to use. Thank you, Grandpa. Okay, so you have spirit guides that help you in life and ancestors. And one of mine is my grandfather. And shout out to my grandfather. He gave me and my sister Swiss Army knives when we were little, and we would go camping with him. And it felt like a powerful tool. Like, my grandfather empowered us. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I never really thought about this until just now. So he's here with me. But it empowered us. He empowered us. Even though we were little girls. My sister was 4 years older than me. So a lot of the time people would allow me to have things or do things that older children would, because I was with my sister. And they knew that I was always like trying to be on her level, because I think that's what siblings do. Or it's a choice, you know, like, do you feel like you want to be treated on the same level? So you're going to try to get up to that level. You're going to try to be like, you know, I'm smart too, or I'm funny too, or I know how to play sports too. I'm just as good. I can play that game. I can, you know, like, you want to level up. So that's an important trait when you're a younger sibling. Those older siblings make you want to push harder. So you have to be grateful for that motivation and inspiration that you had when you were younger. And the social aspects of having siblings, working together, sharing whatever kind of values that you gained from that experience. It's all God, like, giving you those skills for life. Everything that you were put through in your childhood and in your life was lessons that you needed to learn in order to elevate, to get to the next level, to go to the next space that God wants you to be in for your purpose. It's a path to your purpose. And so it's all about how you think about it. And now God is giving me the honor of letting you guys know how all of this works. And not to feel bad, not to consume those negative thoughts into your belly. It's there as a tool that you need to think about it as a badge of honor that you are able to overcome. So if you haven't overcome any issues, that is your job to overcome those issues. So we know our negative traits or our insecurities. I was lacking confidence because I wasn't given confidence in the way of positive feedback for things that I was doing or good at. When I would do something great or I was proud of, I wasn't receiving any like acknowledgement or praise for anything that I did, pretty much. Because the thing that we have to understand is we cannot seek that from the outside. We have to seek it from ourselves. So if we are proud of ourselves, that's what matters, and that's what we have to hold on to. And that's how we gain our confidence, is because we know inside who we are. Nobody else, our parents, our siblings, our teachers, our daycare workers they don't know us. The only person that truly knows you is you. Because they're not inside of you. They don't know how you think. They don't know how you feel. They don't know what you know. They don't know. Your parent or guardian cannot be with you inside of you and know how you think, no matter how much you express yourself. They don't know how you process information. They don't know battles that you've overcome. Maybe somebody can know you really well because you talk to them on a very deep level and explain all of these things. That's how we get connections with people. That's how, when you're vulnerable and you're able to express deeply, translate your experiences and your thoughts and your mindset with somebody else, you can get in a closer alignment with that person. And that's how like a mother and a child are very bonded, because when you spend a lot of time with your children, it's almost like you know how they think. You know what makes them upset and what makes them happy, and you're in an alignment. That's how come you're the best parent for them. That's how come a mother and a child should not be separated. But if you don't have the tools and you're not a good role model and parent for your child, then you need to choose somebody that you trust and feel confident that that you would like your child to imitate their good traits and learn the lessons that they can teach them. But just know that your alignment with your child is going to be off if your mindsets are going to be different, because they're learning things that you haven't learned or not, but they could teach you. So it's all about you raising up to that level of understanding. And I believe that's what I would do with my first child. So you need to have an open mindset. You need to be open to changing and growing as a person. and knowing that the smartest thing you can possibly do in this lifetime is understand that you don't know everything. To understand that you have so much to learn and that you can never stop learning. If somebody thinks they know everything, that's just a shield. It's a shield that they put up that shows confidence, but inside they're not confident. It's about controlling. It's about controlling the environment and thinking that it's shielding your insecurities about yourself or life around you. It's actually, you're so afraid. It's like a subconscious thing that a lot of these people that think they're so confident, they often have like really large fears that they don't even understand are there until they resurface. So it's an act. It's something that has fed their ego and their confidence for so long that they believe it, that they believe it's real. They believe they're superior to others and they know more than others. And they have it all figured out because things are going in a good way for them. But it's a false sense of security. So, like when the pandemic hit and a lot of people were like showing their true nature, and their true confidence was not there because of their business failed, or their, or they lost their job, or somebody got sick, or like some major problem happened in their life where it broke them. It shattered them. It made them feel all the feelings. And they kind of a lot of people committed suicide. A lot of people felt like the rug was pulled out from under them. And so that's the false sense of confidence. So a lot of times, when we have traumas, we create these identities for ourselves to show confidence in one aspect of our life. Let's say our personality. So a lot of comedians started being comedians because they figured out that they could make people laugh, and that was an ability that they had where they felt very confident at it. But really, it was a false sense of confidence when they were covering up their fears and insecurities and doubts and insecurities by laughing about it, when really it was they were being vulnerable, but it wasn't a joke. It wasn't they were self-deprecating, and they were showing their insecurities like they were okay with it, but really they weren't inside. It was just that they got the laugh and they got the money that they needed to survive, but they didn't feel good about themselves. They would drink or do drugs or go into depression or all of it because they weren't happy from within. And so how to connect and be stable and be balanced is about your spirituality. It's about being connected, your chakras being connected in alignment. Okay, I'm getting this as well. Step on the earth with your bare feet, not the cement, the grass, dirt is kind of dirty, I was gonna say. But the grass, the earth, that's the earth, the true earth, not cement. That's man-made. Of course, it's of particles of the earth, so that's okay as well, I guess. If you don't have any grass to step on, that might do. I'm getting, yeah. It's made of rock. And yes, everything is made of the earth, but there's synthetics, like the carpets and tiles and things in your house that are more plastics and synthetics. So it's been known, this is a ritual, this is a known thing about grounding your energy on the earth. That is in getting in an alignment with your, okay, so you have this electromagnetic energy in your body and it extends. I heard that your body is actually in your energy field. So it's not that your energy field is in your body. It's your body is in your energy field. So it extends beyond your body. That's how come you can feel when somebody is in that bubble, that your safety bubble or whatever. If somebody's too close to you, like you can feel it even though they're not touching you. You can feel when somebody's in your presence, in your close proximity. And you can actually like feel that energy like radiating off of your body. And so if you just sit still and meditate, you can feel your energy, the energy of your body. You can feel your breath. You can feel a deeper connection within your vessel. And then you can disassociate, is what I'm getting, your consciousness with your mind and your body. So your spirit is your consciousness. You're able to observe your body and your thoughts. You're always observing your thoughts with your consciousness. And your thoughts come from your body, your brain, your mind. And you're observing those thoughts like cars driving by on a road. And you're making judgment calls on whether you want to listen to those thoughts. Well, not listen, but like believe in those thoughts or use those thoughts as your guidance or not. Like they're just coming and you're like, I don't like that car, I don't like that, but that's a good idea. You know, it's like they're ideas or it depends on what the thought is. Observations is what I was going to say. So let's say, okay, so this is another thing, is like talking to yourself is like talking to God, because it's your intuition and that's how you're connecting with God. So So you can discern, well, I can discern what God is telling me in my intuition, because your intuition is, it's using, I'm trying to explain this correctly. Okay, so your intuition is something that, it's like a thought, but you know it's not something that you've thought before. Or it's just like a random, like, incoming thing. And maybe you have heard it before and you dismissed it, but it's coming back. And so it's God's guidance for you. And it sounds like your own thoughts, but it's your intuition and it's on point. Your intuition is not going to fail you. It's up to you to believe in your intuition and follow it as guidance. That's your job. And you can't make excuses for it. And that's how I get my downloads from Spirit. That's how I know. That's how I'm knowing how all of this works, because I'm living it. I'm breathing it. This is what I'm doing for my job with God, is following my intuition, following my guidance, following what I know now to be true, and seeing how this relates to real life and to practice what I'm preaching. And I'm like a reporter or a journalist trying to show you guys the way by taking my own advice and using it to elevate myself. And so I'm getting it firsthand as I'm doing it, so you can get the message clearly with the emphasis and the passion that I feel at the moment when it's happening, or close by when it's happening. And you can discern the truth. You can see that this is the truth. You know this. And you can see how it works for me, and that it's the real truth. It's about your mindset. It's about your spirituality. It's about your connection to your inner self that is your Holy Spirit. Everybody has a little piece of God within them. That is your consciousness. That's your soul. Your soul is connected to God. It's a piece of every one of us has the ability to be godly and create. To be godly is to create. So women are obviously creators and leaders in our families, because they're also amazing too, because they're so humble. Because they've been oppressed by men and society, and being told what to do and what not to do, and to listen and obey, they're very humble. And that makes them even more powerful, because over many generations, they've learned to really control their minds, control their emotions. And that was passed down through my family. The women in my family are beasts. They're like super strong. They don't show emotion and vulnerability. But I broke that cycle because I knew that that wasn't living as a whole person. I knew that it's okay to love and express that and be everything you can possibly be, and not just to bury yourself. Like, I wanted to like express myself, express my emotions, and not care. Like, and even though I was like punished severely, not like super severely, but it was pretty bad. And I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys right now. Some of the harsh things for being myself, for choosing to be myself from a very young age, I was a black sheep and I was different. Or maybe it was my mindset. But I chose to keep fighting. Every day was a battle to be myself. And the only thing I can think of is that God gave me that. It was my personality. It was like who I was. I was a fighter. That's why I said I was a boss from day one. So I always had that confidence within me. I think everybody does. But it's up to us to fight for it. Fight for yourself. And I'm not talking about like physically fighting or arguing, but it's speaking up for yourself. I would always speak up for myself. And when I was little, of course, like, I didn't understand or know what was going on, and I would like cry, and I would like, it would come out as complaining or crying or whatever, and I would get like physically beat up from my sister or my mom. Not like a truly battered, not like where my teachers never noticed like anything. But this was at a time where it was, I don't know if teachers were really paying much attention. It didn't seem like it. And I went to, like, I don't remember exactly, like 9 different schools or 13 different schools. I don't know. I used to think it was 16, but I counted and I think it was 13. 13 different schools. And they were like in different areas, different cities in California, in like around the surrounding Bay Area. And I forgot why I was talking about schools. Oh yeah, because the teachers wouldn't really pay attention. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into like a couple things where I was like experienced abuse as a child. So I was neglected a lot. I was abandoned a lot, or felt that abandonment a lot. I was bullied a lot by my sister. So it was an everyday thing. And then my mom never like came to my defense. So it was like a double whammy. I became the scapegoat for every single problem that happened. No matter if I had anything to do with it or not. It was always like I was a problem, you know? And I didn't matter. I wasn't praised. I wasn't loved. I wasn't told that I was loved. I wasn't hugged or kissed or talked about nicely. And so when you grow up in that way, I knew that I had a choice to this is what I did. I would just observe because I knew that it was wrong. And so it was like a curiosity. It was like I know this is wrong. And it's like I don't understand why this is happening to me. I don't understand like how you can be an adult and I'm a child, or you could be older than me like my sister. That was more reasonable to me, for a child to be acting childish than an adult to be acting childish and be getting away with it. And so I was with a single parent, and so I'm thinking just like, you know, I would just think about like, okay, this is my life. This is happening. This is wrong. And there's nothing I can do about it. I speak up for myself. I do the right things. I try to be the best person that I can be. And yet my actions can't change this. So me being the best me and trying to do better is not working. So what I ended up doing was trying to protect my mother from being found out. Trying to protect my mom from not getting me taken away from her. That was my mindset. So it was like I went inside of myself and I was like, you have you. You look around you and you don't have anybody else that sees you. Nobody knows you. They don't know your soul. All they see is this little body and this little person crying, and they don't care. They don't care when you speak out and try to use your voice and your strength. They still don't see you. They just see you as a little child. And you know inside of yourself that that you know who you are. Like I knew from my experiences that I was strong because I was going through this situation. That I had to be strong every day because I had no choice. When you're getting abused every single day for your whole life, you adapt. That's what you do. It's just a natural thing. So, words don't really affect you because you hear bad things. You hear people saying bad things about you all the time. Even physical abuse, it doesn't hurt as much when you keep getting physically abused. You learn to fight back. You end up doing what they do. But I knew I was better because I didn't do it in a mean way. I did it in a self-defense way. And I only did that out of necessity. As I got older. And just to, block shots. And I would cry and I would try to say she did this or this happened or that. And it was just didn't care. Didn't tell my sister to stop and didn't understand how much I was hurting or even cared. I think she did understand I was hurting. She didn't care. It was just to her, it was just a daily occurrence. It was all the time. And she felt, to me, she acted like that's just the way it is. When you have siblings, they fight. And they hurt each other. And that's just the way it is. And to me, I was like, you're my parent. You need to protect me from harm, but you're allowing the harm to happen. You're allowing the abuse, the physical and the emotional abuse, to continue to happen to me non-stop. Not only that, but my mom used her tough love on me to an extreme degree, and it left me with bitterness and a huge distaste for her in my life. So no matter how sweet and loving and innocent and pure my heart was as a child, it wore me to the core. it made me a fierce warrior, where I distanced myself from my mom, from my sister, from everybody, and just went within and said, you know what? If nobody's going to be there for me and nobody's going to support me and love me and care for me, and the more people that would continue to do that to me, it just made me stronger. It just made me more determined, more fierce, more motivated to do it myself. That I don't need anybody or anything to make myself successful in this lifetime. That I have it all within me. So the other abuse thing that would happen is that this came about like when I started school, kindergarten. And my mom had gone to Europe. I thought we were poor. But my mom went to Europe with her friend. And she came back and she brought me back presents. She bought me this little doll. I don't even know why I'm talking about the doll. But this doll, and then this so-called lunchbox, but it was from Europe. And my mom thought it was super cool because it didn't really look like a lunchbox. It looked like a pet carrier. So it was this big, huge thing. And it had holes in the sides of it like a pet carrier. That's how it looked like. And nobody had anything like that. They all had the metal lunch boxes with the handles, because that's how old I am. And or like brown paper bag lunch things. And I don't even know if they had like the other material kind. I don't really even know. But that's what I remember. And so this was just like the first day of kindergarten, or first few days, where my mom or my grandma, because I lived with my grandparents too, because we were poor, and they made my lunch, and I was happy, and I went to school, and then everybody was focused on my lunchbox, and they wanted to know or like make fun of it, or like want to know if I was bringing a pet for show and tell. And it was like non-stop, like all day long. Oh, what's that? Is there a pet in there? Did you bring it for show and tell? It was like non-stop. Or it was like, oh, what's that? That's weird. That's your lunchbox? And like just constantly. It wasn't like I could just like make friends or go to school and just have a normal. I just wanted to be normal. Like even my childhood was not normal. I almost died when I was like 4, I had kidney surgery and I was in the hospital. I almost died. It's like my mom and dad got divorced, and it was a horrible relationship, and I didn't even see my dad. I had maybe seen my dad like 2 or 3 times that I had remembered. And then my dad just left and didn't even believe that I was in the hospital having a surgery, that I almost died. My mom told him and he didn't believe her. He thought that she was just wanting money out of him. So he just disappeared. And coming from that environment, I was happy to go to school. I wanted to make friends and like just escape and just like, I just wanted to be normal. And then to have this lunchbox thing like take control of my life and like not let me be like all the other kids and just like have a normal experience in school, it was just like too much for me as a child, and I didn't want this lunchbox anymore. Like, I didn't care what my mom thought, that she thought it was cool. I didn't even like it. I didn't want it. And I didn't want people to talk about it anymore. I was done with it. I refused to bring it to school. I told my mom, people think that I'm bringing a pet to school for show and tell, that they won't stop talking about it. I don't want to bring that to school anymore. And she got offended. And she got upset with me. And so she didn't let me I never got lunch again for the rest of my life to bring to school. Maybe like on a field trip, if I like begged, said, well, we have to have a bag lunch to go to on the field trip, so you have to do it, then like sometimes she would. But every single day for school, okay, so this is the other thing I was gonna say. I did not have a lunch to bring to school, and I would say things, and I was 5. Like, I was 5 when that happened. So imagine you're a child and you try to tell your mom nicely like these things, and you're a child. You're not an adult. You don't have any authority. You have this mindset where it's just like you're weak. You're not a strong, confident little person. Like, you don't just, you're a vulnerable little child that's trying to follow the rules and do what's right. And listen to your parents and listen to people that are supposed to know more than you. And so, but still at that age, which I love myself for that, is I would say things that I remember saying, like in a cute little voice, like, can I get like, I was like, can I get hot lunch? Can I get the lunch from the cafeteria? And then my mom would say, well, you better eat all the food on there. And then she's like, okay, let's look at the menu. So we looked at the menu, and she was like, and I looked at the menu and I was like, or I don't know if I tried it first. I don't remember, but yeah, I think I tried some of the stuff. And it was really gross. Like, it was something that was just really yucky. That, how kids are like, don't like some things? But it's almost like she wanted me to like every single thing on there, or else I couldn't have it. So that's what she made me believe, like, or feel, and stated that I said, like, I only like this one and this day and this day and this day or whatever. And she was like, well, you have to eat it all the days. And I'm like, but I don't like that or that. And she was like, well, then I'm not getting it for you. And I'm 5 years old. So I'm like, Like, I didn't know what to do or say. Like, what would you say if somebody said that, your parent? And then it's like, I remember I wanted milk because there was like a milk list or whatever, and I never got the milk. I never got the chocolate milk or whatever I wanted. Never. And everybody would bring like coins to school to get for the milk. And I just remember like, I was so confused. Like even as an adult, like if somebody like said that or did that, it's like you're like, well, I know this is wrong. Like I know all the other kids are eating their lunches and stuff. And it's like she's punishing me for my behavior. She punished me because I didn't like some of the foods. That I voiced my opinion and said that I didn't like some of the foods. And that's like, I could have like, picked at it or ate the things that I liked, but no, she didn't want me to have it because I wasn't going to eat it all. And so I never had it. I think maybe I did have it like for a week or something, and then I didn't. She asked me like if I ate it or something, and I said no, like I didn't like some of it, and so she didn't let me have it anymore because I complained about it or something, because I was complaining because of the lunchbox, and then I was complaining because I didn't like some of the foods, so she didn't let me have it anymore. And then when I would ask for it again, she would be like, no, you don't eat it all. You don't eat it. And then when I would ask for a lunch, like to bring to school, she would be like, you didn't want it. You said you didn't want it. You didn't want the lunchbox. So you're not having it. And it was like, oh my God. So then that set the standard for like the rest of my days in school. This like fight, this like constant fight just to eat, just to have food. And it wasn't just at school. I could go on and on about that. It's a nightmare. The more I talk about it, the more like it upsets me that happened. Because I just keep thinking of all these other memories and things about what happened. It's not just that. There was so much that happened. But when I would try to speak up or talk or ask for something, I was told like I didn't deserve it or I shouldn't have it, or like I made the choice about something like that made me not have it. It was like a mind game. It was like a manipulation thing, like, or I would ask for money and for lunch or school or whatever, and it was like, she doesn't have any. But it was like her tone of voice and stuff was like don't ask for it because I don't have it. But yet she had enough money to go to Europe, and she had enough money to buy cigarettes every day and stop at 7-Eleven and get them and get her milk for her coffee and all the things she wanted. And at her work, she had a cafeteria where she could just get free food whenever she wanted. Or like, meals every day. Like it wasn't, she had food, she had what she needed, she had what she wanted. Not only that, but like I mean, I can go on and on because it just leads into all of this like stuff. But we're here right now, so she was a single parent, so she wasn't like, she was in like a dating phase, and she was trying to control her weight. She wanted to look a certain way for dating or whatever, like to lose weight. She was body conscious, and she didn't want to buy food for the house. When we did live, because we didn't always live with my grandparents, we moved quite a bit, and in the middle of school years always, and so she didn't want to buy food to have at home, and that was a way for her to lose weight. So me and my sister would like eat stuff out of the pantry, which she didn't really buy a lot of stuff for the pantry either, because she didn't cook very much. We would go out to eat most of the time. And she was against fast food, so there was so much like I'm trying to think of the right word. It's like control and manipulation. I don't really know how to explain that. I'm just like diving deep down into these dark holes of my childhood, which it's pretty exhausting to think about. And just to know that to this day, she doesn't even acknowledge the hurt that she caused. She doesn't even know all of it. She doesn't even know. She won't even listen to me. She doesn't even want to hear it. She doesn't want to hear it. And I make her sound like really evil, because it was evil. But the thing is that nobody would know this about her. She looks and sounds and acts like she's innocent, that she would never do anything like that, that people think she's such an amazing, great person, and that she's funny and happy and nice and like all these things. Like, there's no way that she would do that. So it's like this mind fuckery. It's a mind fuckery. Excuse my language. But this is what I've had to deal with. Being fake to my face. Acting like that towards me, the one that experienced the fucking abuse. Acting like I don't know what I'm talking about. Do you know how frustrating that is? And where you can get so much anger and hatred towards your mother, your sister, the people that don't believe you, the people that don't trust you, the people that keep on hurting you. That this doesn't just go away. This stays with you the rest of your life, because it's ingrained in you. When you are born and suffered traumatically throughout your lifetime, it attracts more suffering if you don't heal yourself. And I didn't know that. I didn't know anything because I didn't have the right upbringing. And in some ways I did. Like, you really have to embrace those things that were good, that you could get good from. And I did. It's like you have no choice when you're growing up and you're in an environment that you know isn't right, and you're a child. So you endure and suffer and just try to survive. So that's ingrained inside of me. That mindset, that skill set that I learned as a child is deep within my soul. And what I didn't know is that was what was meant for me. That's God put me in that situation, dropped me in the game board into that spot for my own growth, for my own purpose, to elevate higher, quicker. Okay, so I'm gonna go now. Have a great day. I love you guys. I gotta go. Peace, love, light.